Dan the Trading Man here. Today we're going to talk about Earn2Trade because they have a huge promotion going into the end of 2022. They are offering 50% off any evaluation that you would like to do. The Trader Career Path, the Gauntlet Mini, doesn't matter. 50% off till the end of December at midnight. All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. By the way, I did make a video on Earn2Trade with the Gauntlet Mini probably over a year ago now, back in 2021. If you want to check that out, I'll put the link somewhere in the video or in the description. You can check that out as well and everything there. If you happen to catch this video after the holiday season, that's okay. You can still use my affiliate link for 20% off if you missed the 50% off promotion. But I'll put that down below as well. So getting into the Trader Career Path. This is a very unique way to become funded. So basically, you have the evaluation like any other evaluation. You have to pass the test. You are given the $25,000 evaluation. And then if you pass that evaluation, you are then put into a live account for $25,000, just like your eval. The difference happens when you withdraw your profit. So if you withdraw the full profit of that account, then you're going to upgrade into the next account. So in this case, you have the $50,000 intermediate live account. And then if you withdraw that total profit, you are then put in the advanced live account of $100,000. And then eventually, you can get put into the senior live account of $200,000 for Earn2Trade with a fixed drawdown of $194, which is a pretty good deal. All right, so how do we get there? Well, you have to do the $25,000 evaluation. There's a profit goal of $1,750. There's an end of day drawdown of $1,500, which is a huge benefit to Earn2Trade compared to other evaluations. The end of day drawdown, instead of having that live trailing drawdown that like the other services use, this is end of day. It helps me, at least when I'm trading. When I did this one a year ago, it helped me a lot with just trading how I trade and not worried about the micromanagement of it. Because sometimes when you get in these other evaluations and they have that live sim and that live trailing following you, it can get in your head pretty easily, especially when you become funded. So end of day drawdown, really beneficial there. What that means is that at the end of the day, if you're up $100, your drawdown moves up 100 rather than tracking you in live time like the other ones do. All right, daily loss limit is going to be $550 and then up to 3 contracts. If you're using micros, you can probably use more, but again, with a daily loss of $550, don't need to be using 3 contracts. I can tell you that just based on the risk reward here and how you can blow up that account pretty fast. But 50% off, so only $75 to try out. It's a pretty good deal. $75 to try this account out. If you pass, you get $25K in live money. You can trade, and if you take the full payout there of $1,750, then you get bumped up to the $50K account, full payout of $3,000. Then you go to the $100K account. So pretty good deal there. Other rules involve trading at least 15 days. Same as the Gauntlet Mini. In the old video, we talked about that. Only trade during the approved times. So this depends on the assets that you're trading, but typically you got to close these before the futures close at 5 p.m. Eastern. But in this case, they wanted at what would be, where must be closed by 3:50 Central. So 4:50 p.m. Eastern time, 3:50 p.m. Central is going to be what that is there. And until 5 p.m. Central when the market opens for futures, Eastern time at 6 p.m., right? So in case that wasn't clear, just like you trade in your normal accounts here, once we get to 4:50 p.m. Eastern time or 3:50 p.m. Central time, you have to close those orders. Other products may have to be closed at different times, so keep an eye out for that, okay? Especially during the holiday season as well. Okay, follow the progression ladder. What is the progression ladder? Different account sizes allow you to trade different amounts of contracts. Again, I have never really used the max amount of contracts in an evaluation before, but this is what they are. So for the 25K virtual account, 0 to 1,500, your 2 contracts, 1,500 plus your 3 contracts, 50K virtual, 0 to 1,500, your 2 contracts, 1,500 and above, 4 contracts. If we can read it, we see what's going on here. Make sure you're not exceeding the amount of contracts you can trade based on your capital in the account, okay? But again, I'd remember the idea that you probably don't need to be using all of these contracts, even if you are allowed to. Then we have do not reach or dip below the daily loss. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So basically, daily loss for this is going to be $550. We cannot exceed that on the day. Do not reach or dip below the minimum account balance end of day drawdown. Obviously, that would make sense. That means that you've blown up your account. Okay, maintain consistency. How does that work for Earn2Trade? So a lot of people complain about this. I understand both sides completely, but they're telling you their rules and you're going to be trading their capital, so you have to follow it. Okay, so their consistency rule is that over the course of the evaluation, no single day can account for 30% or more of your total P&L. Okay? They give you an example here. So if your profit target is $3,000, 30% of that is going to be $900. So you don't want to make more than $900 on a single trade or in a single day, because if you do that, it will not end your evaluation, it will not fail the process, but it means that you will have to trade more until that day is not 30% of your total profits or more. Okay, and they give you this chart beneath here if you can read that. So for the trader career path of $25,000, $1,750 is that profit target, 30% of that's $525. So if I were going to do this evaluation for any of these, I would write down in front of me on my desk whatever this 30% of the target is. And I would remind myself that if I get near that, I need to close. If I'm up $500 in that TCP, I'm taking that off. I don't need to risk getting above 525 and having to do more work, right? We want to do less work than we need to get these accounts. And if you profit this amount or more, you're just going to make it harder for yourself, okay? So that's that. Make sure you keep that in mind. And again, I would write that down in front of you so you're aware of it and know that. And when I did this evaluation, a year ago, like I was saying, I did the 50K Gauntlet Mini, and they had the same rule then. So I couldn't make more than $900 in one trade, and there were days where I'd have to shut it off early. I think there were a couple of days where I'd get up to 800, and then I would just end my day there because there's no reason to go above. It just makes it harder for yourself if you do that. Okay. All right, and then that's basically how they have a video here on the site with this trader talking about it, some testimonials as well. At the very bottom, there's some more FAQs you can look at. So if you have any questions, they might be able to answer them there. Obviously, you can ask me here as well. But that is the trader career path, the TCP. Very cool that you get to do this evaluation. And again, only $75 to do this. If you pass, you get the $25,000 live account. And then if you withdraw all the profit from there, you are then put into the next live account, in this case, which is 50K. And that's really nice, guys, because when you're in these funded accounts and you start withdrawing profit, it can get to your head a little bit because you realize that, oh, I just took some money out. Now my balance is lower because I can't risk as much money. And so by the way of doing this, or by doing it this way, you're actually able to kind of take advantage of those withdrawals, because even though you're withdrawing profit, you're just getting promoted basically. You're getting into a larger account each time you do that. And then at the very end, you get this fixed drawdown to 194,000. A fixed drawdown of 6,000 is a really great end goal here, and can help you a lot with your trading. Okay, so that is the TCP. Now going to the Gauntlet Mini, which again, I've said it many times, I'll say it again. I did it about a year ago, so that video might be more detailed than this. But basically very similar, besides the fact that you're not going to scale up in account sizes. Whatever you try out for is what you will be given as a live trading account. Okay, so if you try out for the 50, you get the 50. Try out for the 150, you get the 150. So here we have our profit goals for all these accounts. For the 50K, it's 3,000, 100K, it's 6,000, so on and so forth. Your end of day drawdown, which again I think is far better than that live trailing drawdown. Okay, it's a huge plus using Earn2Trade. It's going to be 2,000 for the 50K, 3,500 for the 100K, 4,500 for 150K, and so on. And then your daily loss limit is 1,100, 2,200, 3,300. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? Like, I'm just looking at this thinking about how don't look at the number in bold, okay? It's cool to look at this and say, oh, I'm going to get a 100K account or a 200K account. You're not, right? Your drawdown is what your account is. And so if we look at these drawdowns, 2,000, 3,500, 4,500, 6,000, that's your account size. And your daily loss limits are over half of that account size. I mean, imagine if you gave yourself a $5,000 trading account, and in one session, you blew up over $2,500. That's just outrageous. Don't let that happen. Whatever this daily loss limit is, we really shouldn't be trading even close to that, okay? Because your end of day drawdown is not too far away. Keep that in mind. This daily loss limit is over 50% of your total account size. It should not be hit. You should not be having this come into effect, but still be aware of it, make note of it, But and same idea with the contract sizing, up to 6 contracts, up to 12 contracts. Again, follow that progression ladder that we just talked about earlier. Okay, this tab here showing you the different uh, amounts in your account and then how many contracts you can trade accordingly. Be aware of that, but also keep in mind that you probably don't need to be trading the max size. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. That's what's happening here. If you can trade 6 contracts, what's your account size at? How much dollars are you putting up at risk just for one contract? Is 6 contracts really worth it? Okay, those are the questions I would ask myself in this situation. I think people get fooled by, or they get fooled by the big numbers in bold up here, and they put on way more risk than they need to be. So just keep that in mind. All right. And then your subscription costs at the bottom here, 50% off for all of these. So pretty good deals going around until the end of the holiday. And again, if you miss the holiday sale, you can use the affiliate link not only for this, but also afterward for 20% off of an evaluation or a TCP. Okay. Only trade during the approved times, same as the TCP. So 5 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Central Time, the futures market closes. They want you out at 3:50 Central, so 4:50 p.m. Eastern, you're going to have everything closed, which is very fair. Really, before 4 o'clock, everything should be closed. And then 5 p.m. Central or 6 p.m. Eastern, when the market opens back up, you can go ahead and trade again. Other products are going to have different closes you have to be aware of. All right, and again, holidays, keep in mind. Then we have the daily loss. Obviously, you cannot dip or reach that daily loss or the end of day drawdown. And then to get funded, reach the profit target, don't break any of the rules, trade a minimum of 15 days, and again, maintain consistency. Keep that number in mind, whatever account you do. If you trade the 100K account, your profit target 6,000, I would write on my desk 1,800, and then I would not make anything more than that at all. I would be very much aware of that number and close positions if they come close to it. And then same idea with your daily loss and your end of day drawdown. I would keep that in mind. I would check that every day because your end of day drawdown will move, right? It might start at, for the 100K account, your end of day drawdown starts at 4,500. Now, if you start making some money, that's going to move up, and so you want to be aware of what that number is as you're trading. And then same with the daily loss limit. Just have that written down so you know. This wrong one. So for 100K, $3,500 is your end of day drawdown. I would write that down and be aware of that every single day. Okay, but pretty good system. When I was with them, they were really hands-on, and when you ask them questions, they got back to you pretty quickly. So support is great and everything there. I would suggest if you go with them, I used Finamark, I think it was called, whatever that online broker was. I would do Ninja. I think they're just better. It's what I've done for other evaluations and probably should have done for this one when I did it. I think Ninja's just more reliable in some cases, okay? But that's all I got. So any questions, comments, feel free to reach out to me. You can obviously comment here on YouTube. You can email me at danthetrademan@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at danthetrademan, because at danthetrademan was too many characters apparently. So at danthetrademan is Twitter, and at Danny McCoy Trades is the Instagram. So any questions, comments, feel free to reach out to me through the video, email, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. I'm happy to help you guys out. And if you're curious about the other video that I did with Earn2Trade, which talks about the strategy that I used to get funded as well, which at the time was called the reversal strategy, that can be found. I'll put the link somewhere. And if you're curious about the trade room and what it is, obviously you can ask questions about that too. I'm happy to answer them. But if you like the video, please like it, please subscribe. It really helps me a lot. But otherwise, have a great holiday, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.